Hello, welcome to Geeks Assembled Audio Heads, and this time we are looking at Gallifrey, their their story arc of the Time War, and this is the second one of this set called Soldier Obscura, and it's pretty amazing. It's really exciting anyway. Um, let's let's talk about it. It had Sophie Aldred and um, oh, what's his name? Uh, oh dear, this is gonna be bad. I'm sorry.
Braxiatel. Miles Richards.
Yes, Richardson. That's right. God, this is gonna be just terrible today. Anyway, it's okay. Terrible is fine. Um, let's talk about this. With me are some fellows who I really like, and let's open with Tim Wells. Would you please tell us opening thoughts and what you thought of this, please?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought, for a three-hander, it was pretty good. It was a interesting story. I've listened to stories with Braxiatel in them before over the different. But he's one of those guys that was kind of over the Benny series and Gallifrey as well. So I'm not really familiar with his whole story. I didn't realize he was such a murderous villain though, like he is in this one. But there you go. He's a dastardly Time Lord, isn't he? The story itself was okay. I think they made Ace a bit too shouty, like on occasion. I thought she was. I don't know. I guess it's very hard to write for Ace because she's had so many different versions of herself throughout the years. I mean, there's pretty much the TV Ace, and then there's the Traveling with Seven and Hex Ace, and she's had various different. I mean, there's the book Ace that went off and got mad and did a bunch of terrible things or whatever. So it's I guess it's really hard for Aldred to keep up with which one she's playing. Probably. I don't think that she's dead because they wouldn't. I don't think Big Finish would do that. I don't think they would kill off a major television companion. They would. They don't mind killing off the ones they've created on a few occasions, but in this case, I think that there's going to be an out for that, which will probably enrage a bunch of Doctor Who fans. You know how they are. But it was okay. I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. It'll be interesting to see where they go after this. I mean, Romana is already pissed off and going to call him the Master. I don't know why the Doctor's not bothering, but I don't know where this is on his timeline. Again, my problem with the Time War is that it's a bit silly because all you have to do is, if you're a time traveler, is go ahead in the future and find out what happened and fix it. And that's what both sides keep doing. And it just ends up being kind of a non-story at the end of the day. So, we'll see where they go from there.
For a non-story, there's the War Doctor stuff, there's the Eighth Doctor stuff, there's the
My point is though that they're all time travelers, so by the end of the day, it's going to be a non-event because they're going to fix it so it never happened. Are they not? I mean, in other words, if you've got two factions that are time travelers, they're just going to be outdoing each other. I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think I wouldn't say this was a bad story. I thought it was interesting, but I still find the whole idea of the Time War a bit stupid.
All right. Let's go to Beef Dad. What did you think of Soldier Obscura, please?
I enjoyed it. I like the soundscape as always. They do such a brilliant job of that. I like Julie Medine playing Donna. She had should we say trained Braxiatel, played by Miles Richardson, and he is just superb, and sounds so like his father. Yeah, I understand it was a bit on the shouty side with Ace, but um, it was one of those storylines where Ace wasn't sure what was going on, and always when she didn't know what was going on, she would get shouty, even in the television series. So I enjoyed Sophie Aldred's performance in this, and of course Nicholas Briggs doing the Daleks. You cannot fault the man. He's just so good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to carrying on with this. I really am. But yeah, so for me, great.
All right, Kieran, what did you think of Soldier Obscura?
Well, I really like Soldier Obscura. Now, like Tim said, this is the first story out of, I think it's 2 from this set that actually has a 3-way lead. I particularly love the acting in this story. Sophie Aldred and Miles Richardson just sharing some quality chemistry between one another. I particularly love Braxitel's character, and I know a lot of him, same with Tim, because I read a lot of Bernice Summerfield's stories and listen to the audios as well. And his character in this story he's just marvelous in this story. He's a very mysterious character, and you don't know whether to trust him or not. He's kind of like the Doctor in one sense. And what could I say about Sophie Aldred's performance? She just worked her socks off, giving a stunning performance. And Zalima Dean, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who plays Donna. She is also terrific, and you kind of feel sorry for her, especially with the outcome. Even the Daleks are very enjoyable in this story and not too annoying. The setting was actually quite dark and claustrophobic. It kind of reminded me of Midnight at times, especially with the background threat. The soundscape and score was also pretty good. If you're interested in the story, then this story would actually work as a standalone story, and you wouldn't really need any context going into this story. And that's what I like about this kind of story. It takes a step back from all the political stuff that's happening on Gallifrey at that point. So this story felt very refreshing and rewarding in those terms. My personal opinion, I wouldn't say it's the best from the Gallifrey set, as another story actually takes that spot, but that doesn't stop it from being an enjoyable story. And for what it is a cracking tale, which I highly recommend.
Thank you, Kieran. How about you, leader?
Well, as for Braxiatel, he goes, but he was Justin Richards created him for the Vage and New Adventures novels back in the 90s, and Miles Richardson's been playing him ever since, sort of thing. Yeah, and what Kieran says about the doctorish thing about Braxiatel, Justin Richards has gone down on record stating he wrote him as the elder brother of the Doctor, apparently. But I have yet to see that in a book yet, but that's what the author said. Going back to the story, yeah, it's a very good story. I never knew Braxiatel could be like this, because in other stories he's not as secretive and sort of evil, scheming, as Tim says, Time Lord. But all Time Lords end up being evil schemers. Ace, yeah, it's a bit shouty, but I can take that with Ace because, you know, from story to story she does shout that. But for the shoutiness of that was the paranoia building up with the character of Ace, not trusting what Braxiatel was doing because he wasn't telling her what he was doing. That harks back to the 7th Doctor, I think. So, yeah, she got a bit shouty. Yeah, the Daleks, and I've always said this, the Daleks have always been done better by Big Finish than the TV do these days. And as for me, I hate the things, but in audio, they're brilliant. Yeah, it's it gets you thinking. It's a build up, and also Braxiatel did a Donna on Ace, which where that's leading to, who knows? Yeah, I agree with Kieran. It's not the best story in the box set, but it's still enjoyable. So yeah, it's a damn good story. Well acted, as Beef Dad said. The soundscape is 100% every time. So over to you, Susan.
Thanks. Okay, let's just my little bit is that I really like it. I like the Dark Zone. I like the idea that there's like this sheared off point in space and time that's like, you know, got a thing that's like kind of holding the door open, holding the gate open, and then like, you know, something tremendous is on the outside of that. It is like midnight or like edge of destruction, or I mean it's got that flavor to it. Brax was Braxitel, he has done some dastardly things in the past, but in this one he's like, you know, I'm like, whoa, it's a really dark turn for him. Anyway, the character of Ace, I just love Ace. She's just amazing. I want him to bring her back. And now I want them to bring her back from the dead. So yeah, that's what I want. It's pretty intense. That's where I'm gonna leave it. And I'd like to find out what you guys thought of your favorite parts or parts.
You've gone mute.
Oh, sorry. God, I keep switching it the wrong way. Okay. Please, Lee, what would you think of your favorite parts? Please. Reverse order.
That was for you, Lee.
Is it me? Oh, right. Sorry, Susan broke up there. I couldn't hear what she was saying. Favorite part? Well, all of it's good. I just like the paranoia of it all. Because Ace and Braxitel was, supposedly good friends. The doctor left Ace in his care, sort of thing, to teach her all the Gallifreyan ways. But yeah, it's. Well, I agree with Tim though. The Time War is a ridiculous idea. I mean, as they said, the Doctor will help. We'll just go back and get the Seventh Doctor because he would help. I mean, okay, the Eighth and the War Doctor won't help, but if you won't get the Seventh, he'll sort it out. He don't care about changing time. Yeah, to me, it's just the Miles Richardson and Sophie Aldred, them working together, and also I forgot the actress's name who plays Dinah. But the realization, when he confronts Daleks with the secret Gallifreyan weapon, and he turns around Ace, which we know it wasn't Ace to begin with, and it was it was the other woman. He is a sneaky, scheming Time Lord. That's the best thing about Time Lords, because otherwise they are boring political sods. So yeah, I just like all that. I like the two headers together, and the way Miles Richardson and Sophie Aldred work together. Just brilliant acting.
Thanks. How about you, Kieran? What did you think? What were your favorite bits?
Well, it's actually really hard to pick a favourite moment, but I particularly like the scene with both when Ace and Brax find out about those Daleks that are trying to adapt themselves, I think it was. I thought that was a pretty cool scene, but I think the one that stood out the most was the ending scene, which obviously I won't spoil, but I was quite surprised that they pulled that off, and that could lead into bigger things for a certain character, and it could fulfill what Russell T Davies wanted for a certain character.
Kieran, not to interrupt, but please do spoil. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, obviously that Braxitel does that certain thing with Ace, and he leaves her on I think it's Earth, planet Earth, and Russell T Davies actually wanted, wasn't it Ace, to have to own a charity shop on Earth, so that could lead into that, lead into what Russell T Davies wanted for Ace.
All right.
I would think that'd be a lot later for Ace, though, after all of these events or something, because right now she's pretty much tied to Gallifrey. This is where she is in her timeline, I would guess. Yeah, I mean, you could be right. I mean, this could be it for her. I'm just going to retire here and have a charity shop. But I mean, on the other hand, I would think that Big Finish has a lot more to do with her before she retires or something. Unless they give her a spin-off where she's on Earth doing things like Sarah Jane was or something, defending the Earth from the Slovene. So, yeah.
Do you think that well, let me ask that question later. Tim, you were just responding. So, what were your favorite bits?
Well, as they've pointed out, everybody's kind of pointed out, this is a good sort of side adventure, I guess. It's a good part too. It moves the box set forward. I think Big Finish over the past few years has done a good job structuring their box sets, where sometimes they'll have 2 episodes going on at the same time. They've done that in the Survivors quite a bit, where you have events taking place here with these 3 characters and events taking in the next episode with these other characters, and they're concurrent. And I think this was a good idea to have the first episode as a setup and the second episode, which is kind of a side adventure for other characters. And it works out really well, I think. That's the thing I like about it the most. It wasn't boring at all. As far as Shouty Ace, I like Shouty Ace too, but I guess what I meant was it's a bit too expositional. I don't blame that on Aldred at all. I think she's great. I just kind of blame that on the writing. It's about like, oh, look what's going on over there, I'm shouting, because we have to let the listener know what's actually going on since they can't see anything. Sometimes they get a little sloppy with that. And I don't blame them, because it is audio, it's not visual. But using Ace to shout that kind of stuff out can sometimes be kind of obvious, I guess. Again, I think, so don't get me wrong, Sophie Aldred is always great. And Ace had a lot of longevity as a character. I mean, they've done so many different things with her. Especially at Big Finish, but even in the books and all the other stuff. So yeah, that's great. But yeah, I think overall it was a good part 2 to a box set. And like Beef Dad said, I'm interested to see where they go next, because it did have kind of a double cliffhanger there where you're like, what the hell did just happen? I mean, so we'll see what happens.
So you like the cliffhanger too?
Well, yeah, but again, I think it's obvious they're not going to kill off Ace. Big Finish would never do that. So there's got to be a way out of it, and hopefully it's a good way out of it, because nobody liked that when they do it on TV.
Okay. Beef Dad, what were your favorite bits?
Yeah, the ending I thought was just amazing. I loved the conversation with Donna and Braxietto and Ace, especially when they were talking about shooting down a flock of bats with one shot. I mean, that amused me. But yeah, the one thing that really cheered me up right from the very beginning was that they had taken the politics out of it this time, and this was going to be a story with action. But then it always is with Sophie. Bless her little heart. And yeah, she really held it all together, I thought. Yeah, Brooke Sheffield, and her really worked well together. They bounced off each other very well. And Zulema Dean, playing Donna, she actually melded perfectly with the two of them. And it was just, I love the direction on it. I think it's really good.
Thanks, Beef Dad. Okay, so is there like, if they brought Ace to Earth, would they bring her back? And if they did bring her to Earth, would that be the end of her arc, or do you guys see that she would continue? And which master are they going to pick up? Let's start these questions in reverse order again. Beef Dad, please.
They'll keep Sophie. They will keep Sophie. Ace is a sort of solid gold piece of Doctor Who. They're not going to kill her off. They will never water her down. They may well send her back to Earth, but my feeling on that is that she would join UNIT rather than run a charity shop.
And which master are they picking up?
Sorry?
And which master are they picking up?
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, that's all part of the story, isn't it? You just don't know which one it's going to be. I don't know. Lee does, but he's a smart ass. My guess is that it would be what's his name that did the lead in I, Claudius?
Jacoby? Jacoby?
Derek Jacobi.
Derek Jacobi, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, let's get it right. Sir Derek Jacobi.
Sorry.
Yeah, I wonder. I think he'd probably be the one that I would bring back because, to be perfectly honest, audio-wise, he has an absolutely brilliant voice. The man's a superb actor, but he can also act with his voice as well as his body.
Well, he's on the cover, so there you go.
So there you go.
Oh, is he? Ah. Well, I haven't seen the cover.
All right, so let's go to Lee. What about Ace's? The questions I asked about Ace. Where's she going? Is she at Earth? If she's at Earth, is this the end of her time? What's your feeling on that, Lee?
This isn't the end of the time. You've got to realise this is most probably going to be a 4-volume box set. So she's going to come back most probably, I don't know, maybe at the end of the second box set or third box set or something like that. Praxetel is going to get found out lying to Romana. But this isn't the end of Ace. They may, in the future, because with time travel, Ace might spend 10 years in this charity shop and then get picked up after 10 years to be brought back into the war, what she's only just left on Gallifrey. So, so they could do box sets like that as well. Ace on Earth, Ace Earth Defender. But you don't know. Yeah, it's not the end of Ace at all. And what do you want? Which master they'll bring back? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just all up in the...
Tim, what do you think?
Well, like Lee just kind of pointed out, that I don't think. Here's the thing: you could write Ace's retirement at her charity shop if you wanted to, because Big Finish is always filling in the blanks in different between stories. That's their whole raison d'être. Is they write stories that go in between TV stories, or they make up their own different timelines. So yeah, you could write Ace's retirement. That doesn't mean they're done with the actress. They're gonna go back. She's always gonna end up going back and hanging out with Seven or doing stuff. I mean, for example, Evelyn's character, they wrote her death story because they were writing the character out, but then they went back and did another trilogy with her and Sixie. So I mean, that's what they do. In other words, even if they write the end of a character, doesn't mean they're done with her. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you'll see a lot more of Sophie Aldred. I don't think they're, and the good thing is they've expanded on her character, because here she is, hanging out in Gallifrey and doing things there, instead of her long, very, 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 very long term with the Seventh Doctor. So, yeah, as far as who the Master is, well, Lee just spoiled it for everybody. So now, damn you, Lee.
Kieran.
Well, like Tim said, I don't think this is the end for Sophie Aldred, but for Ace, I'm not too sure at the moment. Likely, Tim said, with Big Finish trying to fill in the gaps. But with the recent Seventh Doctor trilogy, I think they're coming to a closure on that as well, with Ace actually going off to Gallifrey for the Celestial Intervention Agency. But yeah, I'm not too sure. That's just up in the air at the moment as well.
And which master? No, I'm just kidding. So are you looking, I'll phrase it a different way then. Kieran, are you looking forward to Derek Jacobi coming back?
Oh, I absolutely loved him in Utopia, and yes, I am definitely looking forward to him coming back. Wink, wink.
All right, so let us finish by our final say and our score. I'm laying odds on what I think everybody's going to get or going to give. So let's reverse order again. Kieran, would you please give your final say and your score for Soldier Obscura?
Yeah, like I said, this story is really good. Great cast, fantastic score, and even the directing was very, very impressive. For a story that had only 3 characters, they really did make this story shine, and I can easily see many people enjoying this story. I'll be giving this story 9 Daleks out of 10.
Thank you. Tim, are you around? No. All right, Lee, would you please give your final say and score?
Well, my final say would be, you've just got to remember that Big Finish do rest characters for a while. So they may rest Ace for a year or 2. Like we haven't seen Perry for about 3 years. We haven't had Taylor for maybe 3 years as well, because they've been doing the Tegan and Adric and
He
stuff
was
like
in
that.
last year's main range. Taylor was just like in the memory bank. It was called.
Oh yeah, that was like just the 4-story thing. Yeah. So yeah, so they could rest the character for a while. That come out. Yeah, but the story, brilliant acting, well told as always. But I know there is better story in this box set, so it's getting a 9.
All right. Thank you. And Tim, what's your final say and score, please, sir?
Well, I think, as has been pointed out, it did a good job as the second episode of a box set at ratcheting up the tension even more and doing it in an economical way with 3 characters and moving the story along to where it's going to go from here. So I give it an 8. I think I'm surprised at how good these are because I really wasn't expecting much. Like I said, I'm not really fond of the idea of the Time War that much. I think what we saw on TV worked okay, and as something that they ended up explaining, which was fine. But and I know Big Finish has to look for new ways to play with all these characters, and this is a good idea, I guess. But I just think the whole idea of it is a bit silly. So I wasn't expecting much from these sets, and I wasn't very impressed with the 8th Doctor Time War set. I think I owe it another listen, to be fair. But this is good, though. This is very good stuff. This is a good set, and I'm looking forward to hearing part 3 and 4. And I'm guessing they're doing 4 of these, so it'll be good to see where they take it.
Yes, there
So
are
I give
4 parts.
Yeah, so I'll give it an 8.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim. And Beef Dad, what's your final say and score?
I love the way that this has moved it along and away from the politics and into a real story where you now know that there is a problem with the Daleks and it's going to get worse. You can tell it's going to get worse. The cast worked so brilliantly together. The direction was brilliant. And as I said, the soundscape, absolutely incredible. Yeah, it gets a 9.5 from me.
Oh, great. Thanks. For the fact that Donna was darkened and turned into a Dalek, and Braxitel was darkened and turned into a conspirator, and Ace was killed. This was probably the most intense of the Gallifrey series. There are a lot of really political stories in the Gallifrey series. Like Beef Dad was saying, this one didn't have it, but it did have these characters going bad, and then they reach out to the Master, and I mean, Ace, I just want her brought back to life. So yeah, that's what I'd like. Pretty sure that that this is not quite as good as the next story, but I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because I was totally amused and totally intensified. Bring Ace back. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to all of us, and thank you for watching Geeks Assembled, and please join our Facebook group. It's public. You can post there, and then share the posts outside of the group, and you can join us on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter, and follow Lee's Instagram because he's got lots of good stuff on his Instagram. And also please enjoy our Tumblr, and just know that we're interested in you guys and what you have to say. We have polls, we have interesting discussions like this on all the sorts of films, and I hope that you stay tuned in a fortnight for another adventure of Audio Heads, because these are adventures, and we're going further with Gallifrey. We might for about another month, and then we might do some more Sarah Jane or something else. But we look forward to having you listen to those, and please like, share, subscribe, and feel free to cut up our videos and make fun of us, because we we're just amazing people, and that's okay with us. And thanks for listening. See you guys later. Have a great one. Bye bye.